Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the MHL podcast, season number 2, summer number 2. And as you guys have just seen with us, we have just crowned a new mini hockey league champion, the Kessel Runners. Congratulations to them for winning the mini hockey league season 2 trophy. An absolutely epic series against the HB Wombats, who just fell short again. But before we get into all of that, I just wanted to record this podcast in advance because for me, you guys won't see this for a while, but I'm recording this very, very soon after the finals actually took place, which will be a little bit in advance. But I've got all my feelings about the season and what I want to talk about now, so I'd like to get all of that out. So firstly and foremost, thank you to everybody in the league who participated, all of the team owners. I love all of you. You guys make this possible, and you bring a lot of joy into my life in general, but this also brings a lot of joy to me. So I want to thank you all, and a special thank you to my wife, who has always supported me and is just the absolute rock that I need, is always switching everything to accommodate me in this league when I need to, and she's just honestly the best person I could ever wish to have in my life. So I'm grateful for her, and without her, none of this happens. We've had a lot of growth this year, so thanks to any of the viewers who might actually watch this. We got 50 subs over the course of the season, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for us, it's a pretty big step up considering we had like 100 maybe to start. I'd say we actually closer probably to 75. But we've got thousands and thousands of views in our shorts and videos now, so that is really awesome, and hopefully we continue upping our quality and continue upping everything, and hopefully this league can continue taking off. I don't see it flying high into the sky anytime soon, but hey, who knows? We could get there eventually. But the steady progress of just constantly uploading shorts and trying to get videos out, we're going to do a better job of managing it next year. We had a pretty set schedule this year, but due to some surgeries and some personal events, we weren't able to quite get the schedule we wanted out towards the end, but we were able to make it work. A little bit of stretch filler footage in there, but we were able to make it work. So thanks to everybody in the league who gave me ideas for videos too, because without them, I don't know what I would have done. But as far as that goes, let's get into some actual mini hockey league talk. So first and foremost, things that I enjoyed over the season. Firstly is the overall quality. I feel like the 4K really helped. I've got the software and equipment and set up now to really bring out the 4K. We were only running 30 frames per second this season. It is pulling a lot of data onto my Mac. It's a lot to move. I need to get a better SSD hard drive or SSD external hard drive because I just don't have enough space still. So if I want to do 60 frames, it's basically going to double the size of everything, and my computer can't handle that without an external SSD. So that's in the plans, but I'm pretty happy with the quality of that. I think we made a lot of positive changes, such as the schedule. I feel like the schedule was really nice for everybody. Everyone got to play against each other. You kind of got to go in a series, so people were warmed up a lot. It didn't feel like you were going in cold against anybody, and if you did, you had that second game to make it up. So I feel like everybody played extremely well this season. I feel like the quality of the games was significantly higher. Some teams that really blew me away this year were the Liberty and the Loons. More specifically, the Liberty. Just an absolute turnaround in their game. Some of the goals they had towards the end of the season and some of the tougher teams they played and were able to get wins on, absolutely incredible. Pulling wins off of me personally, the Hornets, as well as the Kessel Run, and almost getting one on the Wombats. Just and as far as the last week getting one, trying to get one on the Loons. I mean, it was just overall for them. They just played really well defensively, but offensively, it was really, really fun to watch one of my really good friends do so much better than he was doing. With only a couple goals last season, the fact that he was able to, get 9 goals with the center of the Liberty with 9 goals, which is one of the top in the league for centers. I think it's 4th. I mean, I guess it's one of the top, I should say. But, I mean, still, 9 is no slouch. He had more than the Wombats. That's pretty impressive. But as far as that goes, Definitely really cool to see the Liberty play well, but just overall the competition seemed a lot better where it felt like last season the Wombats and the Hornets were definitely the odds-on favorites just because of the experience that we had. And this year it felt like the Kessel Run kind of went up and down. The Liberty definitely played well. The Loons were very good. The Pucks played really well too. They just need they need to figure out the offense. Once they get the offense down, they've got the defense down pat. I mean, they got the Meyer Trophy, their goaltender number 54 with a .824 save percentage. That's the best in the league, and it's cool to see them get that kind of recognition for one of their players doing well. I think they played well in the playoffs too, but running up against me, I mean, I got a lot of offense, so it's hard to handle. But overall, just like the quality of the games, the quality of the content was a lot higher. And that kind of brings me to some things that I didn't overall like about the season in general. Mainly quality control issues. I had a couple blunders audio-wise that I didn't like, some weird edits that I didn't think looked very good. So I'm going to figure out ways to better screen that before it goes out, because just missing those small things it's just kind of unacceptable for me personally. Granted, I'm sure nobody who watched it really cared, but for me, I'd rather put out the best quality because otherwise people aren't going to come back to watch it if it's not the best quality, which is why it's really good that all of the games are very close now, and all the teams are getting closer and closer, so every game feels like it's not going to be a blowout, and who knows who could win. So that's really, really fun. Another thing I didn't like was the lighting situation. I had some issues with the lighting. I need to do a better job with lighting, and then maybe consistent camera work. It's always zoomed in a little bit differently based on when we play, or sometimes it's a little bit too light on one side, or it's a little bit moved. It's just, I need to get a better setup to where it doesn't actually move at all. That would be really nice. That's kind of the goal for next season. A couple goals for next season overall. I thought the video editing was better this season. Do I think it's where it needs to be peak-wise? No. I think there's things I can still do better. I could still spend a little bit more time. Like I said, this season was a little bit odd for me because I was coming out of a surgery, so that was something to keep in mind. I mean, I actually had a surgery, and when I came out of it, I was actually editing the videos. So, I mean, it's not an excuse. It's just I had to get them out while I was like literally cut open. So it was kind of an interesting experience to try editing with my head sliced open, but I was able to get it mostly done. But there's just things I would like to improve on next season overall in editing. But as far as that goes, I mean, that's pretty much all the bad things about the season. I think there was way more positives than not positives, and we'll continue going over that as this goes on. Now, my thoughts on the season overall, like some team arcs. I think I'll go over them all just because I'd like to go over them all, and I'd like everyone to get a little moment in the sun. So one of my favorite teams to watch this season was the Loons. Specifically, their left defenseman, number 86, came out with 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in the season. He played phenomenal. The shot that he had was almost virtually unstoppable, and it was really fun to watch him play. Just a very dominant season overall, and then to climb to the number 1 seed and win the Rickle Trophy this year was really fun to see. Didn't really expect it. Didn't expect the last week to go how it went, but sometimes that's how the season goes, so it was really fun to watch that. Now, the Liberty, we've kind of already gone over them a little bit. The vast improvement, definitely the most improved again this year. Really fun to watch. 9 goals by their center and some consistent scoring throughout the lineup. A couple goals from their defenseman. Their captain was 6 points. I mean, the left defenseman, number 5, was 6 points. Played extremely well. Above average goaltending for them. They've got a lot going for them. A little bit, you'd like to see a little bit more scoring, but overall, they're a fun team to watch for sure. Flying pucks, obviously, defensively, the best team in the league. I mean, I should say goaltending is the best team in the league. They allow a lot of shots. They just need offense. They need more shots for. They need more things going their way in the offensive zone. It's hard to win games when you're not scoring, and you can't score if you don't shoot, and you can't score if you're getting shot on forever. To have only 44 shots for is pretty low while you're 97 shots against. So the goaltender can only do so much in those situations, but the Flying Pucks definitely did play well overall this season and definitely improved. And I think we'll continue to see them be better and better. I think they'll definitely be one of the scariest teams once the offense comes together. It's going to come together. It has to. And when it does, everyone better watch out. Now, let's take a look at the Wombats here. HB Wombats, what another season for them. Going all the way to the Cup for the second time in a row and just coming up short again. That's really got to suck. It's got to hurt. Feels pretty good to get over the demons of the Hornets, but then they ran into a new demon that they did not know they had. They played the Kessel Run for the first time in week 5, and they got beat pretty handedly. The Kessel Run technically scored both of the Wombats' goals, so the Wombats didn't score any goals in either of those series. And I just feel like the Wombats just got completely outplayed in both Week 5 and the finals against the Kessel Run. So they're going to go 0-4 against the Kessel Run. They're going to have to figure out a way to beat that team. I don't see the Kessel Run not being an issue for a while. So just another thing that the Wombats have to worry about. But overall, their season arc was pretty good, I would say. Obviously, they started out strong. They started out average against the Hornets, but then they, racked up a couple of split series, and then they swept a couple. And so the Wombats definitely got better as the middle of the season went on, kind of lost their offense at the end. I think that's what really hurt them in the end, just not being able to score in the Cup, really. And you like to see some more offense out of them, but that's where they go. My team, the Hornets, taking a look at this record-breaking season for some of the things that they did. Most ever shots for with 112, which, due to the format, we had an additional 4 games. So obviously these records could be beaten next season. But I'm not sure if the Center's record, number 19, their captain, my captain, 27 goals on the season. That is just absolutely absurd. That's more goals than pretty much every single team in the league. Actually, it may be more. It is more goals than every single team in the league by himself. Now, the issue with that comes is 0 goals from either of their wings. Their left defenseman had a couple goals, and their right defenseman had a goal. But, my goodness. If this is not the most one-dimensional team, started out relatively mid, and the issue is they run into these teams and they split all these series because they can't play defense. I can't play defense. I try. I really do. I have been moving my hand onto the goaltender more. You'll see it towards the end of the season a little bit more. But I've got to figure out a way to defend. I don't even think it's just the shots, because I have a lot of shots against. So I think it just needs to be a defense thing versus a goaltender thing. Granted, it helps when you touch the goaltender once or twice throughout the game, opposed to letting him just stand there and let the pucks go by. But as far as my team goes, got bounced in the second round of the playoffs. Feel like I had a good first round, but the second round just wasn't there for me. The Wombats, tough team. Don't feel too bad about it. And lastly, the most fun team in this entire season. And as the season went on, and we got through the first round of the playoffs, if I didn't win it, I really wanted the Kessel Run to win it, because they had one of the most fun seasons I think I've ever seen. The worst goaltending team going into the playoffs just put on a clinic in goaltending. Not goaltending, but shots against, really. They limited so many shots against and had so many shots for in the playoffs. Their start was phenomenal. They led the league for a very long time through all the way through week 4, really. They just played extremely well, but then they kind of struggled going, week 3 and 4, they struggled a little bit. Week 5, they kind of got their grounds back, and then they just got really hot going from those 2 wins in week 5, going into the playoffs, sweeping the Liberty, and then moving on to the Loons, sweeping them, and then they just were too hot for the HB Wombats to handle. So it was kind of like a roller coaster. They got really hot early, then they dipped really hard to the middle of the league. Then they got really hot towards the end of the season, and they finished strong. And it was just a really fun season. And if there was anybody I really wanted to win this year, as much as my bitter rival in Pete and the Kessel Runners are, I really, really did want to see him win if I didn't, just because of how fun the season was. Now, I also did want to see the Loons win because I thought the Loons were a fun team to watch and just how dominant they were and how much they improved. I mean, he swept me, he swept the Pucks, he took a win off of the Wombats, he took a win off of the Kessel Run early in the season, and he actually got split by the Liberties. So, I mean, he played no sweeps against, and that's pretty impressive to do considering every single team almost other than the Wombats did get a sweep against them. So, very interesting. Would have been cool to see them win. He kind of predicted his own downfall and thinking that he was going to fail in the playoffs, and, well, it kind of ended up happening. I guess you can't really make that prediction and expect it not to happen. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, kind of, I guess, is what they call it. But so as far as all the teams go, I thought it was a really fun season. I felt like every team had their own fun little stories that were involved in them, and definitely it'll be interesting to see how the teams go moving forward into Season 3. Now, as far as Season 3 goes, we're going to have some additions here, and by additions I mean quite literal additions. There may be a new team joining the league in Season 3. We aren't 100% sure on it, and I'm not sure the logistics of it quite yet, but it's very possible we might be having a third player, not a third player, a seventh player in the league. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can swing a schedule. The only issue is the more people that come into the league, the harder it gets to schedule some of these games, but hopefully people get more free in the summer, and everyone can make it over, and we can do this. I would really like to get up to eight teams in the league, maybe 10. That'd be really pushing it. I think 10 would be pretty difficult to do. It'd be a lot of games to edit, and I would have to figure it out. But I mean, doing stats for 6 teams is absolutely crazy. You could ask my wife or some of the people who have seen the stats that I track. I'm doing a lot of stat tracking. You know, it's really enjoyable, but there is a lot of stats that I keep, and I don't even keep all of the stats. Like, I don't keep face-offs, so there's a lot of things that are, like, goalie goals I'm pretty hit or miss on. Like, I do have them tracked, but I don't really, like, put too much time or effort into assists for goalies or things like that, which, you know, we could start doing, but I just don't really feel it's necessary in mini hockey. So, new things as well. I've got some new video ideas, like, we'll do like a goal of the game or something and have it be sponsored. We do have a couple of sponsors now, not actual advertised sponsors, but some local business sponsors. So we can maybe throw, you know, some of their names in there and just things like that, as well as upgrading the lighting system, the camera. There's, you know, little things that could make the experience better. So lastly, the last thing I would like to talk about, I kind of went over it a little bit, but I kind of want to go over my own team, the Hornets, and how I feel I did throughout the season as the season went on, and what I think I could have improved on, and how I think I could have won some of the games that I lost. So week 1, going up against the Wombats, I feel like as the Hornets, you know, offensively played very well, got my center going, took a game to overtime and won it off an own goal by by the Wombats, but thankfully was able to split that series. She played very well in the second half. In week 2, started up against the Liberty, dominated them just like last year, but got a little bit too overconfident, and they came back. And that's an issue that I have when I get flustered. When I lose the lead, I do get flustered, and it's harder for me to focus. So playing from behind is something that I think I need to work on. Then I went into week 3 and swept the Kessel Run. Always played relatively well. I feel like we play the same style of game, and I feel like I just do it a little bit better, but he plays a little bit more defensively. But if he can't get those saves that he needs against me, it always goes my way, usually. So a couple high-scoring games, I mean, 4-3 and 5-4, so a lot of scoring. Went up against the Loons and got swept myself. Close games, 1-goal games, 1 and 2-goal games. So pretty close games. But again, defensively, I mean, I'm letting up I'm letting up, way too many goals a game against. I got to tighten it up. And then going against the Flying Pucks, a little bit of offensive issues for them. I was only able to get 1 in the first game. I was able to get 3 in the second game, and went up against them again in the playoffs. Felt like I played really good against them in the playoffs and had a pretty dominant game 1. Game 2 was a little bit closer, but it was definitely more flustering, but I felt pretty confident going into it. And then I had the games against the Wombats where they were able to take me out in 3 games after the Wombats getting the goal I have been trying all season, the Michigan goal or whatever we're going to call it. I think Kat's going to be able to name that one. She gets the rights on that one, so we're not going to take it away from the Wombats. We'll let them name it. But overall, as a season, again, center, this is the same story. It's always been the same story. I score with the center, and that's pretty much it, and that needs to change. I feel like I do some really good passing with my right wing, but my left side is really weak on the offense. But my defensemen got a lot of points, 8 points and 7 points respectively for the right and left. So not too mad about that. So it's just about tightening up the shots and goals against. For me personally, pretty happy with the season. Did I want to repeat? Absolutely, but I'm also not upset at the ending. It just makes it feel better when I get back next year and beat everybody again, because that is the goal and the plan for me personally. I don't like other people getting the credit and winning the league when I put all the effort into building it, so I should at least get to win it. Or at least that's how I view it. So curse you, Pete, for taking away all my effort throughout the season and just stealing it by winning against Cat. I mean, it's my own fault for not getting there, so that's for that. All right, so coming up to the end of the podcast here, and we're going to start doing this every single year. We kind of did it last year, but this is going to be more of an official thing so I can actually get my real predictions out there. So we're going to go and predict the teams, ranking them in order, and who I think will win MHL Cup year 2. So I'm going to start from probably the bottom. I'll start from the bottom, and I think that the Flying Pucks will be 6. They have some room to improve. Now, I believe that number can go up throughout the next season, but I just don't see it yet. It's too early in the season to know, and based on the performances of everybody, it's really hard to put them down there. Now, number 5, I'm going to say that the Loons have a very, very heavy fall from grace. I felt like the playoffs were a big point of contention for them, and I do not feel like they played very well. I think the Loons will slip well below where they should be, and they might have a season they need to bounce back from, but I would predict the Loons at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to predict the Liberty. I feel like they're going to be able to climb up a little bit next season. Do I think they'll be able to pass some of the more elite teams? Probably not. But I think that there'll be a solid number 4 for the rest of the season. I think they keep improving, and I feel like they can get better and better, and they can definitely earn that spot in number 4. For number 3, I'm going to go with the Hornets. Obviously, myself, I don't think I'm better than the Cup champions or the Wombats who knocked me out yet. I think I got some defensive improvements to be working on, and once I do that, then maybe we can talk about climbing up the ranks, but I think 3 is a solid place for me. I get a lot of good wins, and I think I can continue to do that. Number 2, I'm going to put the Wombats, and I can't, as much as I want to believe that the Wombats are an overall the best team, sure. They've got a crutch, and I can't put them over a team that beat them 4 times last season in the last 8 games of the season, including for the Cup Finals. It's the only reason they're down at number 2. Otherwise, they would be at number 1. And obviously for number 1, we got the Kessel Run. I predicted them pretty high last season, and I thought they were going to let me down, but they came through in the end and won the whole thing, making me look a little bit better, considering I put them very high last season. I believe I put them at 2 to start, and I was pretty confident in that decision, and it pretty much shows. I think that they don't have many weaknesses, and I think that it'll be interesting to see how they they're able to finish out the season. And if they can do a repeat for season 3, being the new champions and becoming the next level of champions, part 2, the Castle Run repeat. I don't want a dynasty. Please, Pete, do not repeat. I'm going to be the first dynasty in this league, not you. But those are my personal predictions. And that's going to pretty much wrap this one up. I want to thank everyone for listening. Again, I really, really want to thank everybody who plays in the league. Pete, Lisa, Anthony, Andrew, and my lovely wife, Kat. And I'm truly blessed to have such a wonderful group of friends that I get to work with and play mini hockey with, and play real hockey with, and play board games with, and watch hockey with. And I'm grateful for all of you. And here's to the next season where I crush you all into smithereens for laughing at me and not supporting me. Everybody wanted me to lose because nobody wants to see a champion twice. But I have to come back and prove you all wrong. But I do love you guys, and I appreciate all the flexibility of your schedules on the last seconds, and your ability to come when you're busy, and your ability to live in my house and be here for that and make snacks for everybody. So thank you guys for listening, and we are excited to bring season 3 coming this fall.